So, I just wanted to give a quick video of what happened last week. As you've seen from the previous video, we were able to get Ryan his deer. But we hung it up at my parents' house, and we went back on the Saturday to go butcher it. So as I was getting the hide off, I slipped with the knife, had a little accident. I ended up stabbing myself in the leg, the calf area, and here's a little video representation of how it went down.
Wake up, idiot!
You want to know what I am? You want to see what's going on here?
Don't you stick that knife in your leg.
It was that stupid. Let me explain how I had the knife. You stay. Knife. So let's say I'm cutting away at the hide and I'm pulling down. We have it hung so the back legs are up in the air, neck is down. I had already cut the head off. So when I got down to the neck area, I had the knife in my hand like this. So when I grabbed the hide and then I pushed down with this hand, I think there was a few factors that went into how I hurt myself. One, I was up at 3 a.m., so I was a bit tired in the afternoon, so I was rushing. Two, it was a younger deer. And three, we had it sitting for a week. So the way that the enzymes were breaking everything down, normally when we pull the hide off, it's always the hardest by the neck area. So we have to pull really hard. So those three things, being in a hurry, young deer, enzymes broke down, cartilage and whatnot, that hide came off the neck area way easier than I was expecting. So when I grabbed the hide and I pushed down, it came off really fast. So the whole motion with the hide and everything in my hand and me pulling, couldn't stop it, and I stabbed myself in the calf. Spent the rest of the afternoon in the hospital. Luckily, it was a really sharp knife and it was skinny, so it went in about 3 inches, but I only needed 3 stitches because it was a skinny boning knife. Really quick, went in, came out. It wasn't like how I was expecting. Like, if you think you're gonna get stabbed, you know it's gonna hurt, or let me say it this way. It happened so fast that it was more of a surprise. So there was no pain at first because it happened so fast. I was like, I even told Ryan, I think I stabbed myself. So Ryan was telling me a story. So while it was happening, after I stabbed myself, took the hide, put it in the garbage. Ryan telling me his story. And I start feeling like a Charlie horse type feeling in my calf. I was like, oh, maybe I did stab myself worse than I thought. I had neoprene boots on, rubber boots. I was like, you know what, I'm going to go into my parents' house because this was at their place. We were in their barn. Walked into the mud room, and I felt it like really starting to Charlie horse up. Like, you know how you get a Charlie horse and it's like, you kind of feel it and it's like tight. Well, I get into the mud room and I look down at the edge of the boot and I just saw saturated red jeans, the pants that I was wearing. They were tucked into the boots, so right at the rim of the boot, it was just saturated with blood. I was like, oh boy, that's pretty bad. So in my mind, I thought I might have hit an artery or something by the amount of blood that was there. I felt it, like the foot warm, like the blood was dripping down into the foot, into the boot. Walked back to the barn and told Ryan, I'm like, yeah, we should probably go into the hospital. I was trying to stay calm because I know when you start freaking out, other problems can happen, whether it be shock or whatnot. So he thought I was joking with him, and then I turned my leg so he could see what I saw, and the amount of blood that was in my pants already within a few minutes was impressive. So we ended up going to the hospital. It was 35 minutes away, which seemed like a couple hour drive. But yeah, I was just trying to stay calm, thinking of other things. Got to the hospital. Right away, they cut my pant leg open, took off the boot. But by that time, the bleeding had stopped because the boots they're kind of tight anyway, being that neoprene upper. And I took some paper towel, wrapped it up into like a tennis ball size, and I shoved it in between the boot and the stab wound. And I think just that pressure might have stopped the bleeding. They went back, took me in there for x-rays, waited in the waiting room for a bit, and then the physician saw me. They only put 3 stitches in there. But, yeah, I mean, it's still pretty sore. Even the bruising that followed, I mean, this has been 2 weeks now since that happened that I'm recording this. It's still bruised pretty good. It's tight in the mornings. Like I definitely know I stabbed myself. Moral of the story, don't be in a rush when you're playing with knives, you know? Be careful. Be intentional about what you're doing. Because I don't know how many deer we butchered, but this never happened before. So you never know. So just be careful. Take your time. Enjoy the process. Don't be in a hurry. Even though that happened, I can guarantee you that it won't happen to me again. I learned my lesson. So yeah, that was a pain. Pain in the butt. You know, went back the next day and finished butchering. So all good.